Imagine a land sculpted by ice. Imagine a land sculpted by ice, and blanketed in snow, where the sun barely kisses the horizon in winter. This is the ancestral home of the Sami, Europe's only recognized indigenous people. Their story is as vast and breathtaking as the northern landscapes they inhabit. They are the guardians of a culture that has thrived for thousands of years, long before the borders of modern nations were ever drawn on a map. The Sami people have a connection to this land that is profoundly deep, a spiritual bond woven into the very fabric of their being. They have weathered the harshest of climates and the shifting tides of history, holding fast to their traditions with a quiet and remarkable resilience that I find simply staggering. The origins of the Sami are shrouded in the mists of deep time, a story that stretches back to the end of the last ice age. One can almost picture their ancestors following the retreating glaciers, tracking the wild reindeer herds that promise survival in a stark, new world. They settled across the northernmost reaches of the continent, an enormous territory they call Sapmi. This is not a country you can find on a modern political map, but it is a nation nonetheless, defined by a shared language, culture, and a profound sense of identity. For centuries they lived in harmony with the rhythms of nature, their lives dictated by the changing seasons and the migration of the animals they depended upon. Their world was one of immense beauty and formidable challenges, a place that demanded respect and understanding. Their history is not just one of survival but also of adaptation. The traditional homeland of the Sami, which they so beautifully call Sapmi, is a vast and enchanting territory. It stretches across the northern parts of 4 separate countries, a testament to a time before such lines were drawn. Norway, a country of dramatic fjords and towering mountains. Sweden, sweeping forests and countless lakes. Finland, quiet wooded wilderness. And finally, Sapmi reaches into Russia's Kola Peninsula, a remote and rugged landscape where the Sami have lived for countless generations. This immense area is their ancestral home, a single cultural region undivided in their hearts. Although these modern national borders now dissect their ancestral lands, the Sami people themselves do not see these lines as divisions. They are one people, united by a common heritage, a family of related languages, and a shared cultural identity that transcends political boundaries. A Sami person from Norway might feel a closer kinship with a Sami from Finland than with their non-Sami countrymen. This sense of unity is a powerful force, helping them to preserve their culture in a world that has often tried to erase it. It's a remarkable example of how cultural identity can be stronger than any line drawn on a map, a lesson in unity that I think we can all learn from. The largest Sami populations today are found in Norway and Sweden. In these countries, they have established their own parliaments, giving them a political voice to advocate for their rights and cultural preservation. The Sami culture is a rich and vibrant tapestry, woven with threads of brilliant color, enchanting music, and a deep connection to the natural world. One of the most visually stunning expressions of their identity is the gakti. This is so much more than a simple garment, it is a story told in cloth. The colors, the patterns on the ribbons, the cut of the gakti can tell you where a person is from, whether they are married, which family they belong to. Deep blues, reds, bright yellows and greens. To see people dressed in their gakti for a festival or a wedding is a truly glorious spectacle. Music is the very soul of the Sami people, and its most unique form is the yoik. A yoik is not really a song in the way we might think of one. It is something much more personal and profound. It is a way of remembering or evoking a person, an animal, a place through melody. One does not yoik about a friend, one yoiks the friend. It is a deeply spiritual and emotional form of musical expression, a vocal art that carries the history and spirit of their ancestors on the wind. Life for the Sami has, of course, changed dramatically over the centuries. Gone are the days when most families lived a purely nomadic existence. Today, you will not find the majority living in traditional tents or herding reindeer across the tundra. Like people everywhere, they live in modern houses with electricity and internet access. They work in all professions, from teachers, doctors, software developers, and artists. They drive cars, shop in supermarkets, and their children attend contemporary schools. The image of a life lived entirely in the wilderness belongs to a romanticized past, but this does not mean their culture has vanished. It has simply adapted. However, the traditional ways of life still echo powerfully in the present, shaping Sami communities and identities. While only a minority now make their living directly from reindeer herding, the practice remains the cultural and spiritual bedrock for many, the knowledge of the land. looking towards the future. The Sami people are not merely trying to preserve their culture, as if it were a museum piece. Instead, they are actively weaving the threads of their ancient heritage into the fabric of the 21st century. This is beautifully evident in the arts. Young Sami musicians are blending the traditional yoik with modern genres like pop, electronic music, heavy metal, creating something entirely new and exciting. That speaks to a global audience. Artists and filmmakers are using contemporary media to tell Sami stories, challenging old stereotypes and offering their own powerful perspectives on their history and identity. This cultural renaissance is a vibrant and hopeful sign for the future. Education is the cornerstone of this cultural revitalization. For generations, Sami children were forced to speak the national language. Today, the tide has turned. There is a growing network of Sami schools. The fight for land rights? The fight for water rights remains a central and often contentious issue. As the world's demand for natural resources grows, the pressure on the Arctic regions of Sapmi intensifies. The Sami must constantly engage in legal and political battles to protect their ancestral lands from exploitation that threatens their traditional livelihoods, particularly reindeer herding. Their struggle is a crucial part of the global conversation about indigenous rights, environmental protection, and sustainable development. The story of the Sami matters profoundly, not just for them, but for all of us in Europe and across the world. They are a living link to an ancient way of knowing and being, a way of life built on a deep respect for the natural world. In an age of environmental crisis, their traditional knowledge holds invaluable lessons about sustainability and living in harmony with the earth. Their story is a powerful reminder that Europe's identity is richer and more diverse than we often acknowledge. The Sami show us that it is possible to embrace modernity without abandoning the past, and that the strength of a culture lies in its ability to adapt, to fight, and to sing its own song, ensuring its whispers are heard by the generations to come. Their struggle is a poignant reminder of what is at stake for us all. The Sami are a testament to the fact that a people's heartland is not defined by governments but by the land they have walked, the stories they have told, and the culture they have nurtured for millennia, a culture that continues to shine as brightly as the northern stars.